Hey everyone, welcome back to Voice of Code and welcome to another episode of Building Full Stack Real World System from Scratch. In the last video, I showed you what I'm trying to build with Kodevy 3.0. But before moving forward, I want you to take one step back. So previously, I have built something called Kodevy 2.0, and I have also shown in the last video about the platform. It was ambitious, it was big, and honestly, it failed. Not because the idea was bad, but because of architectural decisions, over engineering, and the decisions I made as an engineer. So, in this video, I will show you what 2.0 was, what I was trying to achieve from that, where it went wrong, and most importantly, the lessons I learned from it. These lessons will be the foundation of this complete series and Kodevy 3.0 itself. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So, guys, let's start episode 2, and I have named it as Lessons Before Kodevy 3.0. This episode exists because we will be discussing what are the challenges, what are the complexities we have in 2.0 version, and we will try to overcome them in 3.0 version. So continue with me in this journey. Stay tuned and subscribe Voice of Code to follow along. So now let's talk about what Kodevy 2.0 was meant to become and why it exists in the first place. So there were no specific reason for developing this particular project. It was just out of curiosity. It was just out to know more about full stack development, to just leverage my skills, whatever I know at that time. It was just a personal platform project. Monorepo was new here. Earlier, I was doing full stack development, but with separate repository for front end, back end tools and libraries. And this time, I was also thinking a bit about how large scale application scale themselves, how they work. So I know I was far away from achieving that particular thing, but I was just imagining how they work. And that's the reason I thought of building this a year before. And today, Kodevy 2.0 is live itself in my own domain and server with some major challenges, complexities, and that's the reason we are building 3.0. So let's talk about the tech stack I have used in this 2.0 version. So first of all, I was quite familiar at that time with NX monorepo. So I thought of utilizing it as a unified workspace for my code base. So I just implement that. And since NX is specifically, it has more capability for JavaScript frameworks. So I thought of using Nest as well as Next.js as they both are JavaScript frameworks. So we were using Nest.js as the central core of this system, along with Fastify for server. We were not using Express here. And apart from that, we have NX monorepo to manage our code and dependencies across multiple applications, tools, and libraries. Then we have Next.js for front-end and SSR server-side rendering. For database, I thought of using MongoDB for now, as it was self-hosted. We don't need to do much, and it's a flexible NoSQL that majorly works on documents. And for authentication, I was using JWT along with third-party Google OAuth, which provides easy sign up or sign in. And then for CI/CD, I do have GitHub Actions, and later on I shifted to Azure pipelines as I gradually migrate my project to Azure from GitHub. So let's talk about the capabilities this platform has. So this platform has JWT-based authentication and role-based authorization. So we do have three top-level roles: super admin, admin, and user. Then we have user and application management. So we have tools for managing user accounts and integrated applications. Super admin has the authority to manage user and application throughout the Kodevy system. The Kodevy system also offers a portfolio builder platform that is just a dedicated system in the admin panel where you can or anyone can create a portfolio that the user that has been logged into the system. Then it provides admin dashboard for super admin as well as admin, and super admin can do most of the admin. It can control the services, it can monitor the services and the server itself. Then I was planning to develop task manager, some sort of quick task manager, which I can just go to the browser, hit the URL, and quickly jot down my task. But that was in development phase right now. I just started the development, but didn't completed that, so I didn't push it to production. This was the key feature of Kodevy as it was seamlessly connected with Notion. So I was using Notion APIs, and the reason for connecting with Notion is that I was having a budget manager application in Notion, which I was using. But to copy paste rows from one database to another, Notion doesn't provide anything. So we have to manually do that. So what I did is I just created an integration, a connectivity between my Nest.js and Notion APIs. And anyone can sign up to the admin panel, provide their Notion API key, and will be able to successfully set up Notion with the Kodevy platform. Then we have analytics and monitoring, which I have already told you in the admin dashboard. So it provides few insights about the server, about the application health, and also about the user behavior, not in terms of what the user is doing, but what the user can do or cannot do. It's not a high level, but it's just a basic level user control. And then we have a public portfolio website where we have a public facing site to display user portfolios. So anyone can come up, sign up to admin portal and just create their own profile, and that portfolio will be publicly visible. Profile and that portfolio will be publicly visible. So before moving forward, let me show you all the capabilities this platform has in real time using Google login. So this is authentication and authorization as Google Auth as the authentication provider here. We have user management here. So I can manage all the users out here. Like let's say I want to edit the name, upload the profile picture, change the email. Password is decrypted. Username I can change, and then the roles. These are the specific things I can provide. User role to anyone, admin role, and then super admin role. And also I can provide the application access. So whatever applications are there in the Kodevy platform, I can just grant the access or just revoke the access. So if I say I don't want to provide the access of portfolio management application to Rahul, I can just simply take it and it says access revoked. Now Rahul will not be able to see the this application in the admin panel. If I grant it, then it will be provided. Then we have apps management. So super admin can create application here. Although we have to initialize that application in the code base itself, we need to have a route for that application so that whenever that application gets clicked from here, uh, the user gets to that particular route. But yeah, a super admin can manage these application. Super admin can change the name, the application URL where that particular application has been hosted in the Next.js subroutes, the description, whether this is just a management application. If this is a management application, then only super admin can see it. And if this is a regular application, all other admins can see it. And then making the application active and inactive, this is all under super admin control. So this was the application and user management for super admin. Then we have Notion management. So as I've told you, I have specifically made it for budget generation. As in Notion, we cannot copy rows from one database to another database. So this is how my Nest.js backend was providing hit to the Notion APIs, and from here I can just generate the budget, and it will call the Notion APIs, and will do the task as per the code I have written there. Apart from that, I have here you can see in the bottom bar we do have some sort of summarized information that what was the last login. So these are kind of insights. How long does this application is up and running? How long does the server where this application has been hosted is up and running? What is the CPU state right now and what is the database state right now? And this is not exactly real time, but yeah, it takes a polling of 3 seconds and refresh itself. And then we have this last log that this system is running fine. So this log has been calculated based on whether the CPU is okay, the memory is okay, and all other databases are working correctly. If superadmin wants to view a detailed health of the system, superadmin can go to this particular section. And in this, we have the complete data of the server, whatever the server name and the operating system, what was the last updated at. Here we have also implemented polling, so the data gets refreshed mostly 3 seconds in the 3 seconds interval. We have the system status, we have disk usage, then we have this load configurations, memory and swap information, uh, information about the OS, we have process summary, and then we have disk information and all. I have also implemented this application health, but since the Kodevy 2.0 is now a Dockerized application, it is no longer running via PM2. So this is empty here. But if I run this application as PM2, it will be logged here. I can see the logs of this application, not from the server itself. I can just open the live mode and the logs will be streaming here. So I can quickly identify whatever if something is wrong with my backend, with my request and response, I can do that. Talking about the portfolio management, which we have the section in the admin panel, this is available for admin as well as super admin. So anyone can whoever is logged in, they can just update their settings. So if they want to update the name, if they want to check out this, I mean, uh, so this is our public facing site. So in the base route, I have hosted my own portfolio, and if someone comes up, they can just enter their username and their portfolio will be here. So let's say go to user management. We have one user here, Rahul. So the username is Rahul296, and we have access granted as for the portfolio management application. So I'll just go here to this route. We'll add the username. Wait a second. We'll add the username here, and this way I can just see the portfolio of Rahul. So this is Rahul K. We have this single template, but yeah, any user can just update their content and it will be reflected here. So let's say I'm going back to my own portfolio, and right now it's showing as available for work. What I need to do is just go to the portfolio management, go to settings, and I just need to tweak the settings, save these changes. So I have just I need to revalidate this Next.js application since I have compiled it statically. So once I will revalidate it, it will just hit an endpoint for the Next.js application and it will load the fresh data. So now you can see the section from here available for work has been removed. So all the section out here, skills, experience, projects, they are not static. They are completely dynamic and controlled via admin panel. So we can just quickly change them. We can download a resume from here. So the resume gets calculated or gets built based upon these sort of sections and whatever values are inside them. So if I want to preview my resume before downloading, this is how it will look like. And if I want, it also has a link back to my own portfolio. So this is how it will look like. So this was the feature, portfolio management, which due to which I started this project. And later on, I really make it advance, adding more and more features in this Kodevy system. So now we have seen the public facing side of this complete system. Let's talk about the code that is making this up and running. So we have this project as our NX based project. So we have our nx.json that is doing all the stuff. We have all the plugins for Webpack, for Next, and for Nest as well. If I talk about the apps, so I do have four applications here. We do have the admin panel, Code by Core Admin. It is a Next.js application you can see here. Then we have Code by Core Service. This is a Nest.js application, and this is the center of this complete system acting as the backend. Then we have Portfolio. So this is our public-facing portfolio application where anyone can see our portfolio. And we have the Task Manager, which is still in progress. So these are the four applications inside this NX monorepo. Then I have some sort of libraries. So let's say for backend, I do have for authentication. So all the configurations like JWT and all, decorators, roles, public decorators. Then I have guards, Google Auth Guard and JWT Auth Guard. Some interfaces strategies like Google Strategy, JWT Strategy. Uh, Utilities for uploading images to Cloudinary. Some common stuff required here for backend purpose. Some config like compression, coarse, helmet, logger, mailer, and all. Then we have exceptional handlers, we have decorators, we have interceptor, we have mailers. So for mailer, I do have three providers: Bravo, Mailer Send, and Resend. So this is a complete library for backend. So I can always instantiate or add a new backend to these app sections, and it will be utilizing this the library from the lib section. Then we have library same as for backend, we have for the front end as well. So for front end, I do have actions, then API client, as this is the crucial for any front end application, as it will call the APIs. So we do have the factory, we do have then the core API client, token managers. Then we have some sort of shared CN themes. So I'm using shared CN along with Tailwind theme providers. Then we have some shared CN components here. These are the components, hooks, 3D card, accordion, and all, and some utils as well. And then I do have one shared library that is being shared between front end and back end. So it doesn't contain any framework agnostic code. It is totally a utility-based code that is purely JS, like interfaces, models. So all the response models that's been shared by Nest.js and Next.js, back and front end both. Some types and then some utilities like date and all. So these are the three libraries right now backing up the Kodevy 2.0 platform. Do have some scripts, so converting the Next.js project to a standalone project as per some custom configurations. I do have this Node.js script. Then we have, okay, this is the Docker file for the Nest.js application. I have just migrated it from PM to Docker, and this is for the Next.js application. So all the Next.js application uses this Docker file, and the specific Nest.js application uses this Docker file. Then we have Azure pipelines for our admin panel, for our service, and for our portfolio. We do have some README here, so providing information about this project. And previously, I was using this, so deploy.yaml. This is purely a GitHub runner, GitHub Actions running on GitHub runner. And as you can see, I am SSHing into my own server, then unzipping the tar file there, making some directories, installing something which is not in the packaging. Then using PM2, I'm either restarting or just starting the application. So this was the initial GitHub action, and after that I migrated to Docker, but using GitHub itself. So this was this YAML file, and later on I switched to Azure. So this is all about the code base. We do have so many third-party libraries in the lib section in the backend. We can have it or explore it later on more. So let's say config exception. This health section, you can see health controller. So this is the route which is providing the footer information, and this is the detailed route which is providing the complete information about the server, and it's only accessible by the super admin. So this is all about the code base 2.0 is currently working on right now. So deployment journey, I've already told you that there was two phases. When first it was running on GitHub Actions, and that too once with PM2 and another one with Docker. Later on, when I migrated my complete repository to Azure, I use Azure pipelines. So I use self-hosted agent on my Ubuntu server, and then those agents build the application there and just ship the application on the server itself. So this was the deployment journey of Kodevy 2.0. Okay, so let's talk about the pitfalls why Kodevy 2.0 stumbled. And as I think going through this all the code base and UI, we can easily understand that it was an over-engineered project. So I was just building beyond immediate needs. Everything was not needed at the first time. I just have to understand that first I need to ship the basic version of it, and that's the reason it all leads to unnecessary complexity. Then too many abstractions, so everything was hidden in libs and deeper than that. So if I need to somehow identify or debug some sort of logic, I really had a lot of layers to go through. So that also caused the pitfall. Then I have massive code duplication here. So yeah, it was a monorepo and the common functionalities were there as well. But since it was a kind of a large code base, so at most of the times I really forgot that okay, this particular piece of code exists, and I always recreate it from the scratch. So it's kind of reinventing the wheel. So that was the reason of code duplication, and it was not a true microservice. There is just a single Nest.js service acting as a backend, and structurally it is a microservice, but not at the server level. All the modules are not scalable; they are tightly coupled to that particular Nest.js service itself. So if that service drops, everything will be dead. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, not true microservices. Single database and single server. So right now, Kodevy 2.0 just have one MongoDB cluster in development environment as well as in production environment. They both the environment has been just separated by a single naming convention, but the cluster is same. So if the cluster somehow gets down, our development environment as well as production environment will be completely down. And due to these complexities, it was really hard to change. Whenever I need to introduce a new module, I really had to go through a lot of code. I really need to go through a lot of libraries, whether this code already exists, whether there is an easy way, whether there is an abstraction layer I need to follow, and this always leads to slow development. So these were all the complexities that existed in Kodevy 2.0. So this is what we have learned so far in Kodevy 2.0, and especially me. So first, simplicity first. We have to prioritize a straightforward solution over complex ones. We have to do simple things first. We have to build small, focus on the MVP first. Then we can iterate over. This is crucial. We have to ship early. We have to know our code base in the early stage, whether it can be deployed, shipped to production in the early stage without any business logic. So that later, whenever we add some sort of modules, whenever it gets filled up with modules, it didn't make a messy thing. So we have to ship it early. Kodevy 2.0 was already doing this, but not to an extent since it was overcrowded with other features. So we have to also keep this in mind that we need to solve real problems first, and especially abstraction should earn their place. It should not be the case that we are just distributing abstraction in each and every place. Abstraction is a great ops concepts, but it should be used where it is required, not in all the places, since it will be definitely increasing the complexity otherwise. So that's the reason, and here we are, Codewise 3.0, with a new direction. First of all, in Codewise 3.0, we will be having a real microservice. It will not be just structured, it will be a truly independent, deployable, and scalable unit of a .NET solution. We'll be using .NET with clean architecture, so we'll be using 4 layers of the clean architecture. And yeah, it's a domain-centric architecture. Then we will not be using MongoDB as it's a NoSQL database. So we'll be using PostgreSQL, self-hosted on our own Docker container. And it's a relational database, so it will help us in data integrity, fetching tabular format data and in complex queries. Then, as I have told you in the beginning, in the first episode, that I have prepared and developed the opinionated templates. So this will provide structure and consistency across all the microservices. And the crucial part is that we don't need to reinvent everything from the scratch. We can just use those templates to always spawn a new microservice. This 3.0 version will be Docker first, so that we don't have to worry about whether our microservice is right now deployed on a Linux environment or a Windows environment. It doesn't matter, and we don't even have to worry about when we will be doing horizontal scaling, when we will be adding more application server. We don't have to worry about the architecture as well as the operating system. Right now, in 2.0, we do have dev and production in the same MongoDB cluster. But here in 3.0, we'll be having separate environments. We can have development, staging, production, and if we require testing and all. And they all will have their own database, own Docker container, and their own image. And last but not the least, we are having public NuGet packages here. So these are part of the templates, and they are just providing the backbone, the utility to the .NET microservice. So these are reusable .NET packages, and they provide the utilities and the base infrastructure to the .NET microservice. So no microservice has to worry about handling all the code there. They just have to deal with the business logic. Let's see the architecture. So we have containerized services. We do have PostgreSQL here as storage, modular microservices, which is lacking in 2.0, and then we have environment isolation. This is really crucial in all the full stack real world projects. So next up, I'll be introducing Kodevy 3.0 to you guys. So stay tuned for the unveiling and the initial development of 3.0. We'll be doing it together. We'll be doing it in a more better way. We'll be learning from our past mistakes, what I have done in the 2.0, and we'll be learning more new things. So let's get into it. I'm really excited to share this journey with you, and I hope you guys will follow along with me this complete journey, and we together will learn a lot more things, and we can collaborate, we can work together. So stay tuned for the next episode. Till then, keep watching Code Y. Thank you so much. See you.